Google just tightened SEO. Is your programmer aware? This is episode number 333 of the My Online Toolbox weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of marketing to help you grow your business with more quality leads. We want to warn people, this is not a quick tip. It's really a little bit of a longer tip, but it's so important towards everybody's objectives towards quality, and it's fresh off the press. So take an extra few minutes to enjoy it because this is really going to help position you for many years out. Last year, we were talking about metrics that misled and how you need to separate the difference between marketing stats versus profits. Week before that, we were talking about inspirational websites and how costly they could be for your brand, suffering when too many people are using other people's content to create the websites. Week before that, we were talking about to be prepared to pay the price when your programmer simply steals other people's content. All of that's leading up to this week, which we have some exciting news fresh off the press, which is Google has simply tightened SEO, but for people who understand brand marketing, you wouldn't care less, but we want you to appreciate everything that's working in our favor when you do it correctly for the long term. Again, this is all fresh off the press, so it doesn't matter who you listen to. The bottom line is everybody on the SEO world is literally just learning this from last week. This is all live information. I'm skipping certain pages intentionally just to make a point, but Google secretly announced a core update, and to get to the point, what a core update is at the highest level is Google making a significant broad change to search algorithms, and then everybody falls off their chair to try to figure out what the heck that means. We want to teach you why in certain cases you should even care less. So let's go. A core update, how does it work? First of all, core updates from Google are designed to ensure that overall they're delivering on their mission to present helpful and reliable results for searchers. And you have to think of it as a core update. Imagine that a friend asked you for your top food recommendations and you gave them a list about 20 different restaurants, but you gave it in 2019. And as time goes by, things change. So the list that you gave is always changing based on new restaurants coming up, other restaurants not doing so well and closing, and then they have to make a change. You would have to make a change on giving what your top favorite 20 restaurants are. Google has a bigger challenge, which is right now, if you're seeing a drop in a position, there is a good chance something may be happening based on this core update taking place. And it's critical because My Online Toolbox clients shouldn't even care less about it, but we want to make a point. This is a big rollout. It takes time for the rollout to even make it throughout the whole, propagating across the whole planet for that matter. But then it takes time to go through all of the different websites and different keywords and everything else that readjusts rankings. And so eventually there's going to be some SEO sales tactics that are going to go to talk about this topic and then offer whatever the services may be to help you readjust based on it. My Online Toolbox clients, sit tight. Most of you won't care. Many other companies, competitors, website developers are definitely going to care. We'll show you why. Right now, there's all of these different methods being provided where at the end of the day, there's a good chance people are going to need to assess a large drop in their position. And the reason is Google is adjusting how they look at content to make sure that it was designed, key point, designed to be helpful, reliable, and people first. Right there is a tough topic, especially for the SEO people who like to think at the search level first before the details of what the services are, the service areas are, and whatever else are the articulate details of the industry. Many of them have grown up learning the technology first before marketing principles and before industry principles. That's going to be the Achilles heel for certain people, but not My Online Toolbox clients. So don't worry about it. But the key point is helpful, reliable, people-first content. And what will happen is when people see a dramatic, immediate drop, it's going to be based on this first topic. But then what's going to happen is it's a bigger problem. People are going to have to figure out how to fix those large drops. And one of them is first avoiding quick fixes. Why? Part of that problem is acknowledging to Google that you basically went out of your way to trick them. We could use any other slick word you want, especially the people that need to defend themselves, but we're going to say you designed a website to trick Google, and now they're going to watch everything you do to quote unquote untrick them. I'm sure the excuses will be flying from the left field. Either way, it won't matter because at the end of the day, they're going to have to figure out how to improve the content in meaningful ways. And that goes right back to all of the time, effort, and money that My Online Toolbox promotes to its client base, whether they're just coming here for education or for marketing plans. It doesn't matter. It's been the same pattern since we built the company up, staying focused on the unique content value proposition and then sprinkling the SEO. And then comes people have duplicated content to a point that's pathetic. So they're reusing pictures, they're reusing words, and they're quickly doing little tricks here and there, which have been successful. I'd never not say that that doesn't happen and got people leads. But here's the kicker. They are focusing in on making sure they could even see, based on you changing and deleting your content, that it was a sign that those sections were created in the first place to simply attract the search engines before being uniquely valid to a new searcher. And right there, that's the gotcha that we love, because we just get to sit back and watch other people figure out a way how to work themselves out of that hole, and that'll be their problem, and be able to readjust where they should have been in the first place. So what we want people to even be aware of is that eventually something's going to go wrong and someone's going to figure out why their ranking simply can't get improved no matter what they do. And Google's making it pretty simple. They're being judge, jury, and executioner, where they just say, well, perhaps you might have to wait for the next core update. Bottom line, you've been demoted because you grew your business based on copied works of other people. I can't really wait for people to explain this stuff as time goes by, because it's so complex and so moving as a moving target, that we're really going to just ask questions, and they're so simple. When you started your marketing relationship with whomever, website person, SEO person, paid ads person, however you want to title us in marketing, when they responded back to you, did they approach your marketing for leads, or did they approach you to build a brand that will eventually generate quality leads? Number one. Number two, how did they do it? And let's take a moment to think about that. How did they do it? Because most people couldn't care less. They hear the buzzwords, SEO, and all the other topics, and then just really hope that after their effort, usually quicker, cheaper, has been a common denominator, they don't ask how they do it. So now what I want to do is give you a fun analogy to appreciate this. We just took an extended vacation, and I was in the middle of nowhere, going from one national park to another, and for as far as the eye could see, I did speed. And yes, I took a picture. So right now, this is the example of the environment that I was in. If anyone can appreciate going to the national parks where you just drive forever, and you can go above 80 miles an hour, and then of course take a picture, and that was the road in front of me, that was the same road behind me, and that's all I saw to the side of me. But the bottom line is, I was speeding, and I acknowledge it, and I'll bet you the vast majority of people here have been able to say they sped at one point and got away with it. But now imagine me many weeks, months, and years later getting a bill in the mail that says, hey, you were speeding, you owe me $50. Of course, I would say, what do you mean? You didn't pull me over then. But that's the difference. First of all, I didn't get caught then, which doesn't mean I didn't do something wrong. And I think all of us could agree that it happens in life, whatever that topic may be. I know this is a simple analogy, but that's what's happening right now with the search engines, because there's a plethora of information, misinformation, duplicate information, and Google, rightfully so, is trying to protect their turf. So they need to do that in their next generational changes of what's unique. So now I don't want to get a ticket, but did I deserve it? Yes, and I got away with it. But the big difference is, say I did get a ticket. It's my ticket, I pay, and I move on. But now I'm able to express what I did, clearly explain it, and also pay the ramifications. But Google is not such a rush to do that. So what you need to do is just be aware of what your programmer's responsibilities are. Because if you get demoted for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, first of all, I guarantee you're going to have to pay with time or effort and money to be able to recover. And what's the chances of, if the programmers change, they leave their company, they quit, get fired, whatever, you're left holding your brand in front of Google. And when they go to ask you for, they don't ask you, they just demote you. But when you try to dig yourself out, there's going to be people who are going to say, we don't care how you got there, stay there, because there's just too much effort to get you out. So take a moment to appreciate that as the time's going, it's now my time, where I like to always joke and say every once in a while, the things just come where the right way to do things finally shows up. Too many people have operated with impunity to be able to get away with whatever. Too many people don't really care how their marketers got them to where they are. But now you have to realize, take a step back and see who's really guiding you. And if have they been guiding you with technology, or they've been guiding you with unique branding of your business and then surrounding it with technology. Remember, everybody could make a cake and put icing and sprinkles on the top. Icing and sprinkles is the SEO. The cake is the ingredient, and the baker makes the cake. Do not let people say that the icing and the sprinkles is everything about your marketing, because you can get away with it, but then you could take a bite of a cake and dislike it. That's my point. So now the summary is, the Google, when they rolled out this update, it's so simple. First of all, they did it without warning anyone, which we love. Number two is that the update is simply boosting high quality content and demoting, SEO focused material. So good luck with the sales reps of all those companies you work with, and look for whatever their slick material is when they respond to you. But guess what? If they're able to pull the wool over your eyes, they're not long term going to be able to pull the wool over Google's eyes. They've seen everything you've done over the years. Everything is measurable. Everything is seen. And then when you go to adjust, it's, are you guilty or not? And do they consider it enough of a demotion? Period. And it's going to take a while for the rollout to just get out there in the market. And it's going to take a much longer time, probably months to quarters to even a year, to even make impacts with companies. So in 2026 and 2027, where do you think your reputation deserves to be, possibly permanently for life? Make sure you understand that decision and don't get caught off guard. What we like to always do is make another fun analogy, and I'm going to use me a second time, is here we go with credit. And right now, I did Experian right before I came to this post, and I found out I have an 823 credit ranking. And behind the scenes, imagine if all of a sudden Experian made an announcement that they're going to do a worldwide change of how we measure credit. What are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to do absolutely nothing, because behind the scenes, I've never, ever missed a payment. And for how long? Well, 37 and 4 months of never ever missing a payment. So as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't give a darn about the changes of the algorithms of how we track finance for personal, because I never missed a payment. Matter of fact, I've never missed a payment for longer than the age of most marketing people that are guiding so many people in this industry. So I know what I could prove. I know what I don't care about, but they better be thinking properly in order to protect your reputation long after they move on to the next topic of the day. So please keep these fun analogies in mind, because guess what? The change is coming. For my online toolbox clients, there's actually more to talk about on the reasonings why this is happening. I'm not providing it on the free quick tip, but when we're talking with your reviews and whatnot, please ask, because there are other business reasons that are right out there, and I'd rather not just give my competitors guidance in what they need to know for their next step. But just to prove a point, we've been talking about this over and over and over again for many years before this Google announcement. So we've been living an ethical, moral, brand-oriented business with the SEO on top of the cake after the cake was done correctly. All you need to do is go to our Instagram channel, and you'll see every single week a featured project based on the topics of unique content, organizing it correctly, making sure it's done properly, intermixing between the website, the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google profile, keeping it consistent, keeping it quality driven, and of course, there's SEO topics involved, but the cake has been baked correctly over and over again. Can't wait for you to ask other software people, other SEO people, website people, whatever, what their true core philosophies are, because if SEO has been guiding the way, there's a good chance that you're going to need to dig out the whole of that responsibility. Please remember, like us and follow us with our weekly quick tips on Facebook and YouTube. Please check out and like some of the featured projects. It's all based on this. Month after month, year after year, we finally get Google to say, yes, you've been doing it the correct way with absolutely no ambiguity. It's the same thing with our education classes, both basic and advanced, which coincidentally were just updated for 2025. Check that out if you need to understand this stuff from the ground up. But this is all important to remember to do it correct and not let the technology guide you and try to trick your way into getting more business as opposed to building a brand. Yes, surrounding marketing. Yes, putting SEO topics on top of it all, but don't let the technology guide you, and you'll be just fine as the algorithms and all of the other platforms change over a period of time. This is my online toolbox. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, what we'll call a long tip, not a quick tip. And we'll be back next week with some more fun on this stuff. And remember to start planning yesterday for next year's marketing and profits. Have a healthy week, and we will see you next week.